Number 25. Do not accept the rules. I can't read. I can't even fucking read right now. Oh my God. How am I supposed to get through this, bro? All right, let's try again. Number 25. Law number 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the roles of society. It's just... All right, bro. Chat, I forgot how to read. Chat, I forgot how to read. This is gonna be fun. This one's gonna be fun. We're gonna get through this. Okay. Law number 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. All right, now this was pretty cool. Let me keep going though. The first step in the process of self-creation is being aware of yourself and taking control of your appearances and emotions. The second step is the creation of a memorable character that compels attention and stands above the others on the stage. Rhythm. Turning a tempo over time also contributes greatly to the creation of a character. Appreciate the importance of stage entrances and exits. Okay, so he's pretty much saying here in the book, Robert Greene, by the way, is the author of this book. What's up, Ghost Nelson? Thank you for subscribing. What are you pretty much saying here? Take control of your own personality. Take control of your own person. Take control of everything that involves you being a master, right? Don't just let people say, oh, he's a nerd, and be the nerd. If you want to be a nerd, play the nerd. But don't be a nerd because somebody tells you to be a nerd. Be whatever you want to be. Play that role. And do things that demand attention. Number 26. Shout out to 26. Keep your hands clean, dog. You must seem... Wait, I'm going to cut this shit down. Hold up. Let me cut this mic down a little bit. Wait, where is it? Chat. Is that it? Hold up, chat. Which one's the mic? Oh, none of these. Oh! Hello? Mic check. Mic check. Oh, that's that. Mic check. Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear myself. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I don't have to hear myself. Good. Can y'all still hear me? Chat, y'all still good? Y'all can hear me? Yes or no? You can hear me? Good? Yes? Muy bien? Boom? Bat? Bow? All right, perfect. You must seem... okay. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. So, part one of that. Conceal your mistakes. Have a scapegoat to take the blame. It's often wise to choose the most innocent victim possible as a sacrificial goat. Be careful, however, not to create a martyr. A close associate is often the best choice. The fall of the favorite. Part two. Make use of the cat's paw. Use those around you to complete dirty tasks to hide your intentions and accomplish your goals while keeping your hands clean. An essential element in the strategy is concealing your goal. Devices like this are best for approaching those in power or planting information. You may also offer yourself as the cat's paw to gain power. Note, you must be very careful in using this tactic, as being revealed would be disastrous. So yeah, you want to keep your hands clean. If you're going to do some dirty work, have other people do the dirty work for you. You know what I mean? How to create... Oh, wait, what is this? And that's part two. All right, cool. So part of that is also how to create a cult in 5 easy steps. Number 1, keep it vague. Keep it simple. Use words to attract attention with great enthusiasm. Fancy titles for simple things are helpful, as are the use of numbers and the creation of new words for vague concepts. All these create the impression of specialized knowledge. People want to hear there is a simple solution to their problems. Emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual. Boredom and skepticism are 2 dangers you must counter. The best way to do this is through the theater. Creating a spectacle. Appeal to all the senses and use the exotic. Borrow the forms of organized religion to structure the group. Create rituals. Organize followers into hierarchy. Rank them in grades of sanctity. Give them names and titles. Ask them for sacrifices that fill your coffers and increase your powers. Talk and act like a prophet. Disguise your source of income. Make your wealth seem to come from the truth of your methods. Set up and us versus them dynamic. First, make sure your followers believe they are part of an exclusive club, unified by common goals. Then, manufacture the notion of a devious enemy out to ruin you. People are not interested in the truth about change. That it requires hard work, but rather they're dying to believe something romantic, otherworldly. The most effective cults mix religion with science. What's up, chat? For those y'all just joining in, if you want to read along with me on what we're doing, just bullet points on the 48 laws of power, hop over to my other live. Y'all stay right the fuck there. Y'all hop over here. Bring y'all dumbasses over here. I didn't mean to say that. Y'all beautiful. I love y'all. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I didn't mean that. Now, y'all dumbasses pay attention. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I love y'all. Y'all are great. All right, what's next? Number 28, interaction with boldness. If you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will affect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Don't be shy. Better to enter with boldness. Any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold. No one, and I mean no one, honors the timid. So stop being a punk ass bitch and be bold as fuck in everything that you do. Point blank, period. Some of the most pronounced psychological effects of boldness and timidity. The bolder the lie, the better. Check this out. The sheer audacity of a bold lie makes the story more credible, distracting from its inconsistencies. When entering a negotiation, ask for the moon, and you'll be surprised how often you get it. Lions circle the hesitant prey. Everything depends on perception, and if on a first encounter you demonstrate a willingness to compromise, back down, retreat, you'll be pushed around without mercy. Boldness strikes fear. Fear creates authority. The bold move makes you seem larger and more powerful than you are. If it comes suddenly with stealth and swiftness, it inspires much more than fear. You will be intimidating, and people will be on the defensive in the future. Going halfway with half a heart digs the deeper grave. Don't be half-ass bitch. If you enter action with less than total confidence, problems will cause you to grow confused rather than pushing through. Hesitation creates gaps, boldness obliterates them. When you take time to think, you create a gap that allows others time to think as well. Boldness leaves others no space to doubt or worry. Yo, this is one of the top rules. I love this fucking rule. Audacity separates you from the herd. The bold draw attention and seem larger than life. We cannot keep our eyes off the audacious. Most of us are timid. We want to avoid tension and conflict and be liked by all. We are terrified of consequences. What others might think of us and the hostility we will stir up if we dare go beyond our usual place. You must practice and develop your boldness. The place to begin is in negotiations. How often we ask too little. Remember, the problem created by an audacious move can be disguised, even remedied by more and greater audacity. Number 29. Are y'all sticking with me? Are y'all looking? Are y'all paying attention? Do you want to take over the world, yes or no? Yes or no? If you want to take over the world, pay attention to what I'm saying. We're going to knock through this. We're on 29 out of 48. If you missed part 1, scroll back. 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. The ending's everything, guys. It is in the end of action that determines who gets the glory, the money, the prize. Your conclusion must be crystal clear, and you must keep it constantly in mind. Interesting. Number 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks, or they will be used against you. Some think exposure to how hard they work and practice demonstrates diligence and honesty, but really it just shows weakness. Sprezzatura, the capacity to make the difficult seem easy. What is understandable is not awe-inspiring. The more mystery surrounded by your actions, the more awesome your powers seem. You appear to be the only one who can do what you do. And because you achieve accomplishments with grace and ease, people believe that you can always do more. Number 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but are actually your puppets. Give people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. Put them on the horns of a dilemma. They are gored wherever they turn. Yo, what's good, Gibby? Glibby, Glibble. We're knocking out the 48 laws of power right now. How to gain power and get everything you want in life. Pay attention. Withdrawal and disappearance are classic ways of controlling the options. You give people a sense of how things will fall apart without you, and you offer them the choice. I stay away and you suffer, or I return under my conditions. We actually find choices between a small number of alternatives more desirable than complete freedom of options. The following are among the most common forms of controlling the options. Color the choices. Propose multiple solutions, but present the preferred one in the best light compared to the others. Excellent device for the insecure master. Force the resistor. This is a good technique to use on children and other willful people who enjoy doing the opposite of what you ask them to. Push them to choose what you want them to do by appearing to advocate the opposite. Alter the playing field. In this tactic, your opponents know their hand is being forced, but it doesn't matter. The technique is effective against those who resist at all cost. The shrinking options. A variation on this technique is to raise the price every time the buyer hesitates and another day goes by. This is an excellent negotiating ploy to use on the chronically indecisive, who will fall for the idea that they are getting a better deal today than if they wait until tomorrow. Use that all the time when I was in car sales. The weak man on the precipice. He would describe all sorts of dangers, exaggerating them as much as possible until the Duke saw a yawning abyss in every direction except one. The one Retz was pushing him to take. The tactic is similar to color the choices, but with the weak, you have to be more aggressive. Work on their emotions, use fear and terror to propel them into action. Try to reason, and they will always find a way to procrastinate. Brothers in crime. This is a classic con artist technique. You attract your victims to some criminal scheme, creating a bond of blood and guilt between you. They participate in your deception, commit a crime, or they think they do, and are easily manipulated. It is often wise to implicate in your deceptions the very person who can do you the most harm if you fail. Their involvement can be subtle. Even a hint of their involvement will narrow their options and buy their silence. And finally, the horns of dilemma. This is a classic trial lawyer's technique. The lawyer leads the witness to decide between two possible explanations of an event, both of which poke a hole in their story. They have to answer the lawyer's question, but whatever they say, they hurt themselves. The key to this move is to strike quickly. Deny the victim the time to think of an escape. As they wriggle between the horns of the dilemma, they dig their own grave. Controlling the options has one main purpose: to disguise yourself as the agent of power and punishment. Number 32. Play to the people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Never appear to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. Life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oasis in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. There's a great power in tapping into the fantasies of the masses. Never promise a gradual improvement through hard work. Rather, promise the moon, the sudden transformation, the pot of gold. The key to fantasy is distance. The distance has allure and promise. Seems simple and problem-free. What you are offering them should be ungraspable. Never let it become oppressively familiar. Wow. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion, or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. How to find weakness. Pay attention to gestures and unconscious signals. Everyday conversation is a great place to look. Start by always seeming interested. Offer a revelation of your own if needed. Probe for the suspected weakness indirectly. Train your eyes for details. Find the helpless child. Knowing about a childhood can often reveal weaknesses, or when they revert to acting like a child. Look for contrast. An overt trait often conceals its opposite. The shy crave attention, the uptight want adventure, etc. Find the weak link. Find the person who will bend under pressure, or the one who pulls strings behind the scenes. Fill the void. The two main emotions voids are insecurity and unhappiness. Feed on uncontrollable emotions. The uncontrollable emotion can be paranoid fear or any base motive such as lust, greed, vanity, or hatred. Always look for passions and obsessions that cannot be controlled. The stronger the passion, the more vulnerable the person. People's need for validation and recognition, their need to feel important, is the best kind of weakness to exploit. To do so, all you need to do is find ways to make people feel better about their taste, their social standing, their intelligence. Timidity can be exploited by pushing them into bold actions that serve your needs while also making them dependent on you. Be royal in your own fashion. Number 34. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear the crown. How you carry yourself reflects what you think of yourself. Use the strategy of the crown. If we believe we're destined for great things, our belief will radiate outward just as the crown creates an aura around a king. The trick is simple. Be overcome by your self-belief. This may separate you from people, but that's the point. You must always act with dignity. Though this should not be confused with arrogance. Dignity is the mask you assume that makes it as if nothing can affect you, and you have all the time in the world to respond. There are other strategies to help as well. Let's break those down real quick. The Columbus strategy. Always make a bold demand. Patient. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Become a detective of the right moment. Sniff out the spirit of the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet right, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Master the art of timing, y'all. 3 types of time and how to deal with them. Long time. Be patient. Control your emotions and take advantage of opportunities when they arise. You will gain long-term perspective and see further into the future. Force time. The trick in forcing time is to upset the timing of others, to make them hurry, make them wait, make them abandon their own pace. Use the deadline. Apply sudden pressure. Change pace to use this. End time. Patience is useless unless combined with a willingness to act decisively at the right moment. Use speed to paralyze your opponents, cover any mistakes, and impress people with your aura of authority and finality. Chat, so for those of you that just joined in, we're reading out the 48 Laws of Power. If you missed part 1, or if you want to catch up on what's going on today, you can go. I'm going to post a video tomorrow on part 2. Part 1 is, you scroll back, it's on my videos. It's the video for today. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Squad shit, you know the vibes. Number 36, disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Ooh, that's fire. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make them. And a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there's something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. Desire creates paradoxical effects. The more you want something, the more you chase after it, the more it eludes you. You need to do the reverse. Turn your back on what you want, show your contempt and disdain to create desire. Instead of focusing attention on a problem, it's often better not to acknowledge its existence. Sour grapes approach. This is an approach. Act as if something never really interested you in the first place. When attacked, look away, answer sweetly, and show how little the attack concerns you. Treat it lightly if you have committed a blunder. Note, make sure to show the above publicity, but to monitor the problem privately, making sure it is remedied. Make sure to show the above publicity. Treat it lightly, boom, makes sense. But to monitor the problem privately, making sure it is remedied, boom. Number 37, create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you. Then, full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you're really doing. Words often go astray, but symbols and the visual strikes with emotional power add and immediacy. Find and associate yourself with powerful images and symbols to gain power. Most effective of all is a new combination, a fusion of images and symbols that have not been seen together before, but that clearly demonstrate your new idea, message, religion. Number 38, 10 more to go, chat. Let's rock out. Think as you like, but behave like others. So think as you, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness. Flaunting your pleasure in alien ways of thinking and acting with reveal a different motive to demonstrate your superiority over your fellows. Wise and clever people learn early on that they can display conventional behavior and mouth conventional ideas without having to believe in them. The power these people gain from blending in is that of being left alone to have the thoughts they want to have, and to express them to the people they want to express them to, without suffering isolation or ostracism. The only time it's worth standing out is when you already stand out, when you have achieved an unshakable position of power and can display your difference from others as a sign of the distance between you. Stir up water to catch fish. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage. Put your enemies off balance. Find the chink in their vanity through which you can rattle them, and you hold the motherfucking strings. This is the essence of law. When the waters are still, your opponents have the time and space to plot actions that they will initiate and control. So stir the waters, force the fish to surface, get them to act before they are ready. Steal the initiative. The best way to do this is to play on uncontrollable emotions: pride, vanity, love, hate. Angry people end up looking ridiculous. It's comical how much they take personally, and more comical how they believe that outbursts signify power. We should not repress our anger or emotional responses, but rather than realize in the social realm, in the game of power, nothing's personal. Reveal an apparent weakness to lure your opponent into action. In the face of someone angry, nothing's more infuriating than someone who keeps his cool while others are losing theirs. Note, do not provoke those who are too powerful. There are times when a burst of anger can do good, but it must be manufactured and under your control. Despise the free lunch. Number 40. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There's no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating. For generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. What is offered for free often has a psychological price tag. Complicated feelings of obligation, compromises with quality, the insecurity those compromises bring, on and on. By paying the full price, you keep your independence and room to maneuver. Being open and flexible with money also teaches the value of strategic generosity. Avoid these people who fail to use money creatively and strategically, or turn their inflexibility to your advantage. The greedy fish. The greedy fish take the human side out of money, cold and ruthless. They see only the lifeless balance sheet, viewing others solely as either pawns or obstructions in their pursuit or wealth. They trample on people's sentiments and alienate valuable allies. No one wants to work with the greedy fish, and over the years they end up isolated, which often proves their undoing. Easy to deceive with promise of money. The bargain demon. Powerful people judge everything by what it costs, not just in money, but in time, dignity, and peace of mind. And this is exactly what bargain demons cannot do. Wasting valuable time, digging for bargains. They worry endlessly about what they could have gotten elsewhere for a little bit less. Just avoid these type of people. The sadist. Financial sadists play vicious power games with money as a way of asserting their power. They believe the money they give you allow them to abuse your time. Accept the financial loss instead of getting entangled. The indiscriminate giver. These people give to everyone, and as a result, no one feels special. Appealing as a mark, but you will often feel burdened by their emotional need. Never let lust for money lure you from true power. Make power your goal, and money will find its way to you. Make power your goal, and money will find its way to you. Make power your goal, and money will find it. Make power your goal, and money will find its way to you. Note, bait your deceptions with the possibility of easy money, and many will fall for it. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in a past not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father, disparage his legacy, and gain power by shining in your own way. If you cannot start materially from ground zero, it would be foolish to renounce an inheritance. You can at least begin from ground zero psychologically. Never let yourself be seen as following your predecessor's path. You must physically demonstrate your difference by establishing a style and symbolism that set you apart. Repeating actions will not recreate success because circumstances never repeat themselves exactly. Success and power make us lazy. You must reset psychologically to counter this laziness. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual, the stir, the arrogant underling, the poisoner of goodwill. If you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the troubles they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them. They are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble, and the sheep will scatter. In every group, power is concentrated in the hands of one or two people. When trouble arises, find the source and isolate them, physically, politically, and psychologically. Separate them from their power base. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn, and the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weakness. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Remember, the key to persuasion is softening people up and breaking them down gently. Seduce them with a two-pronged approach. Work on their emotions and play on their intellectual weaknesses. Be alert to both what separates them from everyone else, their individual psychology, and what they share with everyone else, their basic emotional response. Aim at the primary emotions: love, hate, jealousy. Once you move their emotions, you have reduced their control, making them more vulnerable to persuasion. Play on contrast. Push people to despair, then give them relief. If they expect pain and you give them pleasure, you win their hearts. Symbolic gestures of self-sacrifice can win sympathy and goodwill. The quickest way to secure people's minds is by demonstrating, as simply as possible, how an action will benefit them. Number 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The mirror reflects reality, but it's also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. The mirror effect mocks and humiliates them, making them overreact. By holding up a mirror to their psyches, you seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding up a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. By holding up a mirror to their psyches, you seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding up a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. Mirror effects can disturb or entrance others, giving you power to manipulate or seduce them. There are four main mirror effects. The neutralizing effect. Do what your enemies do, following their actions as best you can, and they're blinded. A reverse version is the shadow. Shadow your opponent's every move without them seeing you. The narcissus effect. Look into the desires, values, tastes, spirits of others, and reflect it back to them. The moral effect. Teach others by giving them a taste of their own medicine. They must realize you're doing to them the same thing they did to you. The hallucinatory effect. Create a perfect copy of an object, a place, a person that people take for the real thing because it has that physical appearance of the real thing. Understand, everyone is wrapped up in their own narcissistic shell. When you try to impose your own ego on them, a wall goes up. Resistance is increased. By mirroring them, however, you seduce them into a kind of narcissistic rapture. They're gazing at a double of their own soul. This double is actually manufactured in its entirety by you. Once you have used the mirror to seduce them, you have great power over them. One way to create a mirror for someone is to teach them a lesson through an analogy. Avoiding the reactionary increase in resistance you'd encounter if brought up directly. Note, avoid mirrored situations you don't understand, as those involved will quickly see through it, and the mirrored situation will not live up to the original. Number 45, preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. If you are new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a power base, make a show of respecting the old way of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past. Borrow the weight and legitimacy from the past, however remote, to create a comforting and familiar presence. Humans desire change in the abstract or superficial change, but a change that upsets core habits and routines is deeply disturbing to them. Understand, the fact that the past is dead and buried gives you the freedom to reinterpret it. To support your cause, tinker with the facts. The past is the text in which you can safely insert your own lines. A simple gesture like using an old title or keeping the same number for a group will tie you to the past and support you with the authority of history. Never appear too perfect. Appearing better than others is always dangerous, but most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Either dampen your brilliance occasionally, purposely revealing a defect, weakness, or anxiety, or attributing your success to luck, or simply find yourself new friends. Never underestimate the power of envy. The envy of the masses can be deflected quite easily. Appear as one of them in style and values. Never flaunt your wealth, and carefully conceal the degree to which it has brought influence. Make a display of deferring to others as if they were more powerful than you. Use envy to motivate you to greater heights. Keep a wary eye for envy and those below you as you grow more successful. Expect that those envious of you will work against you. Emphasize luck and do not adopt a false modesty that will be seen through you. Deflect envy of political power by not seeming ambitious. Disguise your power as a kind of self-sacrifice rather than a source of happiness for you. Emphasize your troubles and you turn potential envy into a source of moral support. Beware signs of envy, excessive praise, hypercritical people, public slandering. Note, once envy is present, it is sometimes best to display the utmost disdain for those who envy you. Let me look up that word. Number 47. Two more, chat. Do not go past the mark you aim for in victory. Learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no subtlety for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal and when you reach it, stop. Understand, in the realm of power, you must be guided by reason. To let a momentary thrill or an emotional victory influence or guide your moves will prove fatal. When you attain success, step back, be cautious. When you gain victory, understand the part played by the particular circumstances of a situation, and never simply repeat the same actions again and again. History is littered with the ruins of victorious empires and the corpses of leaders who could not learn to stop and consolidate their gains. The powerful vary their rhythms and patterns, change course, adapt to circumstances, and learn to improvise. They control their emotions and step back and come to a mental halt when they have attained success. Good luck is more dangerous than bad luck because it deludes you into thinking your own brilliance is the reason for your success. Note, there are some who become more cautious than ever after victory, which they see as just giving them more possessions to worry about and protect. Your caution after victory should never make you hesitate or lose momentum, but rather act as a safeguard against rash action. On the other hand, momentum as a phenomenon is greatly overrated. You create your own success, and if they follow one upon the other, it is your own doing. Belief in momentum will only make you emotional, less prone to act strategically, and more apt to repeat the same methods. Leave momentum for those who have nothing better to rely on. Interesting. Let me run that back. You create your own success, and on the other hand, momentum as a phenomenon is greatly overrated. You create your own success, and if they follow one upon the other, it is your own doing. Belief in momentum will only make you emotional, less prone to act strategically, and more apt to repeat the same methods. Leave momentum for those who have nothing better to rely on. And 48, assume formlessness. Be like a wata. Be like a wata. Last one, chat. By taking shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. The powerful are constantly creating form, and their powers come from their rapidity, with which they can change. The first psychological requirement of formlessness is to train yourself to take nothing personally. Never show any defensiveness. When you find yourself in conflict with someone, stronger, more rigid, allow them the momentary victory. Seem to bow to their superiority, then by being formless, slowly insinuate yourself. The need for formlessness becomes greater as we age, as we become more likely to become set in our ways and assume too rigid a form. As you get older, you must rely even less on the past. Remember, formlessness is a tool. Never confuse it with the go with the flow style or with a religious resignation to the twists of fortune. You use formlessness not because it creates inner harmony and peace, but because it will increase your power. Finally, learning to adapt to each new circumstance means seeing events through your own eyes and often ignoring the advice that people constantly peddle your way. It means that ultimately you must throw out the laws that others preach and the books they write to tell you what to do, and the sage advice of the elder. Note, when you do finally engage an enemy, hit them with a powerful, concentrated blow. That's it. You have everything you need. This was part 2 of the 48 Laws of Power. You have everything you need now to go get it. Now you need to study this. You need to believe in this. You need this to encompass your soul. Just let it hit your soul. Let it feel good. It feels so. You go out there and you go get that shit. I love you.